Welcome back to FreightWaves Now. And now on our freight feature today, we're going to be talking to Steve Ferreira from our very own show, Navigate B2B. He's our ocean market expert, CEO of Ocean Audit, really just so wise about everything that goes on in the ocean space. Steve, thank you for joining us today on FreightWaves Now.
Oh, what an incredible introduction. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
So you just wrapped up your trip in Miami. For those folks who watched the last 2 to 3 episodes of Navigate B2B, you had some awesome insights from your trip down there. Tell us a little bit about that and then what your show's coming up with coming forward now that we're moving to the new time slot Friday afternoons.
Well, we have a big tease coming up here at 2 o'clock. So Ocean Audit's been in Miami. We've been in Hollywood, California. We've been in New York City. And one of those lucky cities is going to be the new home of Ocean Audit and the Ferreira family. So we'll have more to say on that. But nevertheless, Miami time experience at the port and meeting all the importers was incredible. Today, later on at 2 o'clock on Navigate B2B, we'll be talking more about an incredible new tool I developed to help Wall Street better analyze publicly traded companies that ship ocean freight. This is a great, exciting new tool to help improve forecasting and earnings evaluation from Wall Street, hedge funds, analysts. I think it's a can't miss. It's one of the more interesting pieces of work that I've developed, and I'm going to unveil that tool later on in the show today. The other thing we want to talk about today is have carriers really accelerated containergeddon with the bullwhip effect at a major U.S. port. We're seeing incredibly new dynamic trends at one particular port that is off the radar, but are very important to discuss and help import-export community navigate their ocean freight shipments in that particular port. The other thing that we've done is that we found incredible new developments in manifest data talking about low-valued commodities. And when you're talking about ocean freight rates that are coming up to $15,000 and $16,000 and having a very low factory value, 40-foot container, what happens to that? And what happens to the cost of that? And how does that work for inflation? Next, we're going to talk about two really interesting stocks that I'm following. Zim just released the results. They were stunning. I'm going to relate that Zim is like a Mustang, but there's another stock out there that's like a Ferrari. And we're going to talk about that later on today. Lastly, but not least, we're going to talk about Navigating B2B releasing its own new book. Some experts think it could go to #1 on the USA Today bestseller list. And last but not least, how about free ocean freight using a cryptocurrency approach that I've configured? So we've got a pretty power-packed show today.
Wow, absolutely, Steve, a huge show. I wanted to ask you a little bit about, could you give us a little insight on that one port, the port situation that you're talking about? And I got to say, obviously I don't have much say in the matter, but you seem like a Miami guy to me.
Well, I'll tell you, I sure like that LA Hollywood Hills thing. That was a pretty incredible thing. But no, the point that we're going to be focusing today is Oakland. Oakland has an incredible backlog of ships. There's many reasons why that exists. A lot of it has to do with the carriers kind of saying, hey, get these ships out of LA and move them up there. There's a berthing situation there in terms of the low number of berths available in Oakland, but it is causing kind of this economic inefficiency in getting cargo delivered and ports and cargo worked in the Port of Oakland. So we'll talk more about that at 2 p.m.
It's really awesome to hear that you guys are writing a brand new book, and we're going to be super excited to see that here at FreightWaves. Maybe send us a couple personalized, maybe some signed copies. That way we can highlight them on our desk the next time we're here at FreightWaves Now.
Well, we're going to be doing signed copies at that. Hopefully we have some live event that we're going to be doing together, all of us at FreightWaves. And I'm going to bring a van load of books. And that's not the only way I can sell them, but we'll be definitely doing some promo work on that.
Fantastic. Yeah, definitely bring them to F3. I'm sure that people will be clamoring for them. Hey, I got to ask, as you know, I have Great Quarter Guys, my show on Tuesdays at the Freight and Finance Show. So we talk a lot about stocks. Zim has been an incredible stock since it IPO'd in February. I think it's doubled. You got to tell me what this Ferrari is you're talking about.
I'm going to tease the hell out of it. I'll tell you at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what, though, this is a stock. I will tell you this, though. I have been studying under one of the more unique experts in this field for the last year. I'm not an investment pro. I have I give you a total disclaimer that anything I say here is just for entertainment purposes. But I will tell you, when you look at Zim and is how strong it is and how everyone wants to be in it, you really, this other stock is actually probably 2 times better.
Okay, and if we're teasing, we won't call the company name. What are the things that you're looking at this company that gives you that confidence? Can you nosy around?
Sure. The underlying assets of this company, it's a smaller cap stock, and the underlying assets don't get the play from the U.S. analysts. Obviously, it's a foreign stock, so it's a misunderstood stock that tends to get put into the oil related, the XLE type indexes, as opposed to more in the container shipping type genre. And Wall Street's starting to slowly make that move away from treating the stock in the oil basket, which gets knocked down every time energy has a blip. And now they're starting to treat it more like the ZIM, but it has much more upside run than ZIM, in my professional opinion, in my amateur opinion.
Well, if that doesn't get you excited to watch Navigate B2B today, then the announcement about where he's moving absolutely should. Maybe we'll take a poll on our LinkedIn comments right now. If you have a guess, let us know, and then Steve can make that big announcement, and then you can get the satisfaction.
Yeah, so LA, right. Miami, or New York City. It's one of the 3, guys.
One of the 3.
And yeah. And I think the choice is going to really, I think the ultimate answer will really surprise everyone, where it ends up. So.
Maybe that has me changing my mind. Steve, thank you so much for joining us today. Catch Navigate B2B. You can find that live on LinkedIn. Also find it on tv.freightwaves.com.